Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys the weekly soul connection reading. And so this is going to be for today's date, which is Monday, April 29th, going all the way until Sunday, May 5th. So this could be for any type of a connection, twin flame, soulmate, doesn't matter. However you resonate with another person, that's on you. It's just somebody that you feel a soul connection with. So I do tend to channel for those of you that are in separation or little to no contact. So that's how I plan to channel this reading here today. So as usual, everything that I'm using as far as decks are concerned will be listed in the description box below. And also I have this lovely Orgonite to my left from Wing and Bell. It's my newest Mermaid piece. So if you guys are interested in seeing any more of their work or purchasing anything for yourself, I will list their Etsy shop in the description box below. And just as a usual reminder, these messages may not resonate with you this week. So just take what resonates and get rid of what doesn't. Let's go ahead and get started, you guys. We're going to focus on the masculine's energy. And I do say he for masculine and she for feminine, but I realize that you guys can switch those and apply them to your specific situation. So let's get started. The very first deck that we're going to be using is called the, what is this one? The After Tarot. And this particular one is called The Permission to Be Powerful from my lovely friend, Melanie from Hooligan 1111. So this is a deck she's created. I'll list her Etsy shop where you guys can pick these up in the description box below. So let's go ahead and shuffle these cards. We're going to focus and see where's the masculine at in his overall energy this week. Just kind of like what's going on for the masculine in general. Okay, so I'm going to grab 3 cards from this deck, and we're going to go ahead and get, just like a significator card here from this deck. Where is the masculine's overall energy this week? We have cleanse and detoxify. So maybe the masculine is working on cleansing his physical body, perhaps his health, but this could be mental, it could be spiritual, it could be really anything. So why don't we pick some cards and clarify the situation? Oh, we have the Knight of Cups. Interesting. So what I'm getting here, because this particular knight is drinking from this cup rather than offering this cup right now, is that he's working on his own emotions. He's purifying his own emotions. He's working on taking care of himself. So I feel like maybe he is not extending an offer of love right now because he is working on just really loving himself. So that's a beautiful energy. We also have the Two of Wands. So in this particular deck, we can see both a masculine and feminine energy. And the feminine seems to be holding that globe, but the masculine has his hand on it as well as the hand on the feminine. So what I'm getting from this is that it may be, because the Two of Wands really does represent like preparation in order to make a choice to bring something, forth, to work on something, to collaborate. So I feel like the masculine right now is really cleansing and detoxifying anything before offering something to the feminine. That's what I'm picking up on here. Look, 2 to the 3 of Wands. Beautiful. So I feel like the masculine, the overall message that I'm getting here, especially if you're a feminine watching this video, is that the masculine this week is really working on purifying and cleansing and detoxifying his own emotions and preparation for a connection. Now, the masculine may not be aware of this connection. He may not even be in that space in his life where he is thinking about a relationship. But what I am getting is that the work that he's doing right now is in preparation for the future, because the 3 of Wands indicates distance. So often the distance, something that we're setting off in motion, but we haven't quite gotten back the results yet. So I feel like this is all premature. This is in that, in the formulation stages. So it's preparing the emotions in order to come together and actually collaborate with the feminine. That's what I'm seeing. So again, even if it's not completely in the masculine's mind that it's for his connection with his feminine, his actions right now are leading towards those steps. Okay. It's a beautiful energy for the masculine this week. So why don't we go ahead and take a look and see where is the feminine at? So we're going to use a similar deck, but this one is called the Before Tarot. And we'll also combine it with one of these cards again, Permission to Be Powerful. So let's get an overall energy for the feminine. We have Dreams and Visions. What a beautiful card. And let's get 3. Dreams and Visions for the feminine. What do we got going on here? Love it. Page of Pentacles are solid ideas, things that the feminine may want to bring into the material world, ideas that she has right now, great ideas for new projects that that are going to bear some sort of fruit in the material world. That's freaking amazing. And we have the Hanged Man, things that are going to take time. So I don't feel like the feminine right now is really in that energy of just going full force when it comes to these ideas. There may be some that she's doing, but others she's really taking time to really let these things marinate. So we have this Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man isn't really moving, but there's all of this crown chakra energy and activity that's going on, which means that the feminine is consulting her higher self. She's consulting spirit, her guides, things like that. Consulting these visions before she brings them in the material world. So we've got some sort of incubation period for the feminine right now. I love this. Oh my gosh, look at this, you guys. The Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups has to do with collaborations with other people, soul family, friends, celebrations, things like that. So I feel like the feminine's overall energy right now is that she's working on herself. She's growing. She is thinking about her future and what she wants. She's envisioning her future, and she's having a good time while she's doing all of these things. Some of these dreams and goals could be realized through collaborations or groups with other individuals in a group. And I just feel like whatever is happening right now is gold. That's just what I'm seeing. Whatever the feminine is dreaming about and envisioning right now, she's literally going to be bringing it into her reality. And it may be with the help of other people, but whatever is happening, it's golden. That's just what I keep getting here. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and get the energies here. You know what? Before I say that, I just want to kind of go back to the masculine. Okay. So the masculine is also could be really putting into action certain goals and dreams. So I feel like the masculine is preparing himself in order to put forth certain ideas out into the world. So I feel like the masculine and the feminine are both working on themselves in a huge way, which of course helps their connection in the future. So I just wanted to say that real quick. And I just hit my, sorry you guys, just hit my microphone. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see where is the connection this week between the masculine and the feminine. Where's the connection this week? And what's coming up? This right here is the Twin Flame Journey Tarot that I've created. Available in my Etsy shop. If you guys are international, email me. I will send you a special link to order them. Any of the decks I created. We have the Eight of Swords. We have Imprisonment. We have the Five of Swords, which is mind games and control. And we have the Eight of Wands, energy, surge, and communication. So 2 8s, very interesting. So the 8s to me are, activity. It means moving forward. It means manifestation. But what I'm getting here is that is something that is not able to happen right now. Why is that? Because there may be other things that are happening right now. It might also be the mind of one of the individuals. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify this energy. Is this energy coming from the masculine or the feminine? Because Eight of Swords has to do with being imprisoned by our own way of thinking and being. It's not really anything except for ourselves that are holding ourselves hostage. We also have mind games and control. It could be that somebody is making a situation much more difficult than it needs to be, or perhaps they're in a situation that they need to pull away from, and so it's making things difficult. But we do have some sort of an energy after all this stuck crappy energy of a surge, moving forward positively, communicating perhaps. So let's go ahead and see how the masculine and the feminine are both relating to that Eight of Swords. What's the masculine? It's energy. Okay, we have the Divine Timing card for the masculine. And for the feminine, we have Guide. So if by looking at both of these cards, I'm seeing here that right now the masculine may have certain things that he needs to either accomplish or that he needs to take care of. And it's divine timing, meaning that it's not the right time. So the masculine is still working through these chains, perhaps, still working on cleansing, detoxifying. That actually already came through the reading here. Okay, taking time to cleanse the emotions. So I feel like right now, maybe the masculine is just not ready at this time. And what's the feminine doing? The feminine is relying on her intuition and her higher self. And we can already see that here when it comes to everything that's happening or not happening right now. So I feel like that really resonates with both the masculine and the feminine. But I feel like it's more of the masculine that seems to be tied up at this present time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get an energy for Five of Swords for the masculine, and we have for the feminine received. I really feel like the masculine is more affected by the Eight of Swords and the Five of Swords than the feminine, okay? Because the feminine is receiving guidance when it comes to whatever's not happening right now, or whatever seems to be stuck in her connection with her masculine. The masculine is really needing to learn a lesson. Obviously, we have that here. And also, there's something about divine timing. As in, when we learn how to help ourselves possibly out of a difficult situation or out of doing the same thing over and over again, the lesson will be learned. The lesson will be received. I feel like the feminine's already received the lesson that she needs to walk away and distance herself perhaps from being in the pit, if she is in the pit with the masculine. So let's just say there's a third party situation for some of you, not all of you. I feel like the feminine has made a decision to walk away, to separate herself from whatever madness is going on with the masculine's life. So to me, that's the guidance that the feminine has received. To pull away is actually going to break her and release her from that imprisonment. She's no longer going to beat a dead horse. She's no longer going to go around in the same circles over and over again. And eights, to me, those are obviously infinity symbols turned sideways. And so sometimes we have to consider that when eights come through, are we doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result? I feel like the feminine has made a decision or needs to make a decision to break away from any energies that may no longer be serving her when it comes to dealing with the masculine. That's just going to be for some of you that are still kind of involved, or maybe you have just recently walked away from this. And so I am getting that this is a confirmation that you've made the right decision. And why would that be? Because now you have the Eight of Wands, which means now the energy can move forward. Now the energy can basically flow. Whereas before we were all caught up in Five of Swords, Eight of Swords energy, which is not good for anybody. Okay. So for some of you that are not dealing with any kind of third party situation, I'm just getting that it's all about mental energy, because that's what swords are. It's mental thoughts. So if the feminine had been really, really struggling before when it came to either the separation or whatever challenges or whatever is not happening on the masculine's end, she's found a way to really calm her energy. She's in the Hanged Man's energy where she's okay to be at a standstill. She's okay for things to be on hold right now. She's trusting. Her guidance tells her that there's something about divine guidance she's received from her higher self. This inner knowingness that certain things need to take place with her masculine before there can be some sort of a reconnection or communication or perhaps union. Okay. So I feel like the feminine this week is really being encouraged, or is really being almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Recognized for this work. Okay. This work of, it's all here. It's all in the higher knowing, inner knowing. It's all trusting spirit with this process when it comes to this connection, that everything is happening in the right, correct timing, that everything is happening for a reason. There's a higher lesson at hand here, and the feminine knows it, and the feminine is seeing this. She's receiving it. She's understanding it, and she's understanding that if her masculine is still stuck, he's going to have to get to this point. That's what I'm seeing here. When we get to this point, we can have our true understanding and our true awakening. And then the next card would be death, which means that it's about rebirth. Okay. So I feel like the feminine is there, and maybe the masculine is still kind of cleansing and detoxifying and still making that choice. Okay. To let go or release, to see things from a different perspective. But right now, he might just need to really examine his own feelings and cleanse and detoxify his own self at this point. So I think it's beautiful. So let's go ahead and see the energy for the masculine and feminine with the Eight of Wands. I love that. Big dreams for the masculine. And we have awakening. See, I mean, it's not like I needed confirmation that the feminine has had her awakening. Obviously, if you're here and you're a feminine, you've had your awakening, or else you wouldn't be even probably tapping into this video. But the big dreams here for the masculine, this just tells me as he continues to go after his dreams and his goals, okay? Because that's what we have here. And it's funny because the feminine has dreams and visions too, but there's something that the masculine needs to put in motion. some sort of energy that he needs to basically see pay off. And maybe it is in the form of big dreams and goals. Okay. So this energy surge in communication, the feminine is awakened to the fact that all these things need to take place first, that there's a formula here, that there's a higher lesson at hand, that certain things need to take place before the next step can be taken. So I feel like the feminine is in alignment this week. And at this time, when it comes to her connection and when it comes to what the masculine is going through, and is really in that energy of understanding it and really seeing it clearly. And she's very calm this week. She's not freaking out is what I'm seeing. She's really in this state this week, which is amazing. Okay. You're awakened to this energy is what is necessary in order to be in alignment with your own dreams and your own goals, and realizing that this is where your energy needs to be. It needs to be on your community. It needs to be on good energy, high vibrational energy, focused on your own garden, not worrying about what the masculine needs to do. And I'm just seeing that the feminines are really awakening to this concept. And if you have been awakened to that concept already, and you have been in that energy for a long time, I feel like this is Spirit's way of congratulating you, because a lot of your dreams and your visions and the things that you guys have been thinking about are starting to become a reality. So good for you is what I'm getting. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what some of the shadows may be, some of the struggles. We've obviously just seen some struggles here, so let's just get more into it. What is the masculine's biggest block or challenge or shadow at this present time? We have sellout, and for the feminine, we have cowardly. Interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a confirmation on this. I'm going to go ahead and, these are the twin flame shadows, you guys, and this is the twin flame oracle. I forgot to say that. Sellout energy. We have breakthrough and awareness, which is the Ace of Swords. For the feminine, we have the masculine. You know what's interesting? When I saw that cowardly card, I didn't really feel like it was the feminine's energy. I felt like it was her energy that she's holding towards the masculine, and there it is. Okay. Have the soulmate energy here, and we have free will. Okay, so this is the deal. The masculine right now, okay, this is really interesting energy. Sell out. It's easier to sell out. It's easier to not do the kind of work to show up for this kind of love. So the masculine is very aware, I feel, with these cards and this energy so far, that he is aware that there is a special connection that he has with his feminine. Now, he may not know that she's a divine feminine. He may not understand twin flames, may have never heard of it. Maybe he doesn't necessarily even label her as a soulmate, but there is a special connection that he feels with his feminine. The reason I say that is because there has been a breakthrough and there is awareness of this connection. So there is understanding at some level, but he's still selling out to lower vibrational energies. Rather than leveling up and raising his vibration to come towards this connection, what is he doing? He's doing this. He's drinking his cup right now. Instead of offering it, he's cleansing and detoxifying his own energy first. So that's why I feel like he is preparing himself, whether he is actively aware of it or not right now, for a higher connection, okay? And even if it's not with the feminine in mind at this particular time, which we're going to get into some other energies to see if he is, really thinking about his feminine at this time, or if it's more just kind of generalized energy. I just feel like he is aware that there's a connection that exists between the two of them, or he is looking for a higher connection. But he may not be actively in his mind thinking, I am doing work right now to show up for this connection. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. Not all masculines are in that energy where they're thinking about their feminine actively right now, working towards this connection. Some of them may just be doing their own healing, which will of course benefit your connection later on. But they are just working on themselves to better themselves for their own future at this point. That's just what I'm seeing with the masculine, okay? But it's easier sometimes for people to just kind of sell out and play it safe rather than raise their vibration and level up for this kind of a connection. This kind of connection is serious business. This kind of connection requires work. And the masculine at this point may not really want to do a lot of deep work when it comes to another person. I feel like the masculine at this point is really focused on himself. He's really focused on his own healing and his own energy. And the feminine, this is where this comes in, feels it. She intuitively feels it on some sort of level. She knows that the masculine has the free will to sell out. Now, I feel like this is where the shadow is for the feminine. She feels like her masculine, she might go into those shadows and see him as a coward and see him as somebody who can't show up, that he's not going to be strong enough in order to man up and do the work or whatever the situation may be, that he's not going to be able to be her king. So this is showing up as a shadow because sometimes that might be very difficult for the feminine to accept that the masculine has free will, that all human beings have free will not to choose these types of connections. Some of you may disagree. That's totally fine. I'm not here to educate anybody. These are just the messages that I receive. That everybody, every human being on this planet has free will. I don't give a shit what kind of connection that you have. So if you want to live in that area that somebody doesn't have free will and that you don't have free will, that might be where the shadow is. It's keeping you stuck. Okay, it's keeping you stuck that this is the only person for me and that I'll never be happy unless. That kind of energy is really going to keep people stuck. So this energy here is saying that the masculine is definitely aware of a connection that he either has with you, or that there is a connection that he has that's available to him of a higher love. But is he ready for it? Or is he just going to sell out and play it safe? And the feminine is seeing her masculine perhaps as not strong enough in order to show up for this connection. Okay, so it's difficult. So we definitely have some difficulties. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fly into some energies from the masculine's higher self to us feminine right now about these shadows and just about this connection in general. Let's see. I'm going to put these up here. Okay, I just got caught up in the moment and I missed the feel of you next to me. So I feel with these two cards that the masculine definitely connects this soul connection with the feminine, or this card wouldn't have come up. I missed the feel of you next to me. So there is a soul connection that was made, and not only was it made on your part, but it was felt and accepted on your masculine's part. Now, he may not have been able to do anything about it at that time. I just got caught up in the moment. I did feel in the moment that you and I came together, I did feel the soul connection. And maybe I made a lot of promises, or maybe I said a lot of things, or made a lot of actions that you felt that I was on board with this connection. But then what did I do? I sold out. I just sold out. It was too hard. I couldn't show up for it. That's just what I'm getting. I'm getting some sort of an old energy here. I'm getting past energy of what your masculine couldn't do. But he was aware of it. He felt it, is what I'm seeing here, but it was easier to sell out and not take it in and not experience it. So I feel like this was a missed opportunity on your masculine's part, and he's basically telling you here that this is some kind of energy here, that he missed out on that opportunity. So let's get another card here. How does the masculine feel towards the feminine? We have the two nines, you guys, 9 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. I really, really see that the masculine's energy towards the feminine is that he was satisfied and there was some sort of wish fulfillment, as in there was definitely a special connection. There was some sort of a magical connection here for sure. But look at this, trials and tribulations. Feeling like, so dried up, feeling like he couldn't move forward. There was so many trials. There was maybe other things that the masculine had to do, so he could not show up for this feminine. So let's go ahead and get one last card to finalize that. How the masculine feels towards the feminine. Yeah, Queen of Swords. So he sees her as the Queen of Swords, which is, I feel, somebody who he feels it might be a little difficult to communicate with now. Maybe difficult for him to, either apologize if there has been some sort of wrong, some sort of pain. He might see her as somebody who is very strong, that isn't screwing around, somebody who's serious business. So if he is going to return, it is going to be work. That's just what I'm seeing, you guys. So if you're a feminine out there watching this video, I feel like the masculine definitely is acknowledging that there was a soul connection between the two of you, but he just couldn't show up for it. He couldn't give to it. He couldn't level up with you. And I'm just seeing that he might not be able to level up with you at this moment either. And that's why we've got this energy of, rather than offering you this cup and coming towards you, he's deciding to just possibly work on his own emotions at this time, work on his dreams, and, learn certain lessons, just kind of think about things. And that might be one of the reasons why we've got this divine timing going on here, where it's going to take some time for the masculine to get out of this old way of thinking, these old sellout energies, and being stuck in his, particular behavior. But we do have the Two of Wands, and I just love that the feminine shows up on this card, because this shows me that the masculine may still think about the feminine and have her in mind for the future, but it's off in the distance. So again, this is a confirmation for me that right now the masculine is very much in this energy of cleansing, detoxifying himself for the connection, or just to better himself in general. But there is some sort of connection that he feels with the feminine. And I just love the feminine's energy, because she's very aware that everything is happening exactly the way that it should, or exactly the way that it needs to, or just has to, that everybody does have free will, including her. And in the meantime, rather than just kind of sitting around and just stagnating, no, she's working on herself. She's doing her. She's in touch with her spirit guide, spirit team, the universe, herself, higher self, working on her dreams and visions, planting seeds for the future, collaborating, having a good time in her community, receiving the lessons that she needs to learn, seeing things positively, moving forward with all the guidance in the world. So I feel like the feminine is in a really good space, where she realizes that there's just certain things that the masculine has to do as a part of his growth and awakening process, period. That's just what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead, and I want to get just very specific, and I want to see how the masculine is feeling towards the feminine in current time. Okay, let's use these cards here again. How is the masculine feeling towards the feminine? We're going to break it down in 4 categories right now, okay? Because I feel 1 foot in and 1 foot out of this energy with the feminine. So I want to clarify this with spirit. What is the energy as far as the masculine's mental space towards the feminine? What does this look like? Okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles. So that 9 of Pentacles to me is definitely an energy of independence. It's somebody who's working on themselves. So let's go ahead and use the Twin Flame Messages original that I created to clarify the thought. Okay, what is this thought process about the 9 of Pentacles? We have, I've thought a lot about you lately, and you feel like home to me. So I feel like the masculine is confirming, or at least spirit is confirming for us right now, that the masculine does think about his feminine, and that he has thought a lot about her lately. Even if he's been alone, while he's been working on himself, he has been thinking about his feminine and how the feminine feels like home. This does not surprise me, because we already saw that the masculine is in an energy that he is aware that there is some sort of soul connection between him and his feminine that he hasn't felt with anyone else. He misses the feel next to him. So, and I also just picked up too, if this is past energy, I just got caught up in the moment with other things and other people that took me away from this connection with you. But it was something that I had to go through. I had to go through these lessons, these trials, these tribulations. Holy crap, this whole reading is coming together. You see this, you guys? It's almost like the timing for the two of you was not right before. In order for him to realize this type of a connection, he had to go through other trials and tribulations in order to maybe honor you now or in the future. He couldn't honor you then. He didn't know what he had back then, is what I'm seeing here. So I thought a lot about you lately, and you feel like home to me. So as the masculine has been working on himself, he's been thinking a lot about the feminine and how connected he feels, or how comfortable he always felt with the feminine. He may also be seeing the feminine as doing really well right now. He may be seeing her physically different. He may be seeing her doing well financially, career-wise, just overall doing well. So let's go ahead and get the heart space. What is the emotions? Yeah, another 9, you guys. This is not an accident. This is not an accident at all. I'm going to just get them again, and I know this is taking time. This was also connected to the feminine, you guys. And what's really interesting is we have every single suit. Pentacles, swords, cups, and wands. These are all the 9s. 9s mean we are at the end of a cycle. We are almost there. So again, I'm not trying to give anybody false hope. I'm not trying to, make a fantasy here for feminines watching this video that your masculine is on the horizon of figuring something out. But I feel like there is definitely some sort of breakthrough here. And 9s to me are very lonely numbers, meaning that we're okay to be by ourselves. Sometimes we're not. Sometimes it's very scary, like that 9 of Swords energy. Sometimes we have anxiety over it, but I really feel that as the masculine has either been on his own or has been working on himself, there's been a lot of deep introspection and work that has been done. So for his emotions, I see that he has been up at night slaying dragons. He may have had a few nightmares or two. He may have dealt with a few nightmares that have caused him to go into his emotions and really think about what happened between him and his feminine. Maybe there was some sort of dragon that he's still slaying right now. Maybe it's an addiction. Maybe it's a behavior. Maybe it's an attitude. He's trying to slay it right now, which again, I keep going back to these cards that we've already pulled, which is really good that the masculine is in this energy, working on his own cups to cleanse and detoxify. And oh my God, you guys, look at this. This is just to prove it. There is a cup here. That's the cup that the masculine is drinking. He's cleansing and detoxifying. We've got lemons here, which are all about detoxification. It just proves to you that the masculine is cleansing his own cup right now, working on himself right now to better himself for the future. That's what I'm seeing here. So allow the masculine to do the work, feminines. If you're feeling like he's too cowardly right now or that he can't do it, allow him to do the work that he needs to do. So let's go ahead and get a thought on that 9 of Swords energy in the heart space. I feel like the masculine has definitely felt some sort of uncomfortable feeling or comfortable energy in his heart space and emotions when it's come to the feminine, for sure. Oh my gosh. Seeing you reminds me of the things that I know deep down, and that's not always easy to deal with. I just got chills. Why? Because I just said the masculine has felt some sort of uncomfortable energy when it comes to the heart space, when he's thinking and feeling about his feminine, if that makes sense. So there's something that hasn't been easy for him to deal with, but he's facing it. He's dealing with it. He's processing it. And it might keep him up at night, and it might cause him a nightmare or two or some anxiety. That's what I'm seeing here. What's going on in the physical world here? Wow, physical world is the Tower. I see major transformation, tearing down old paradigms, wanting to restructure and rebuild. So it's almost like the masculine is aware that things need to completely be different and change in order for him and his feminine to come back together. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They can't come back together with the way that things were. It has to be completely different. Your words still linger in my mind. I am getting here that whatever took place between the masculine and the feminine, whatever words that the feminine spoke to the masculine before either they parted or just words that she said, I feel still linger in the masculine's mind when it comes to the life that he has led or lived in the material world with or without her. I really feel like certain things had to come crashing down, and something about the feminine's wisdom and words the masculine took with him. So it has literally caused some sort of collapse of ego here. It could have even been a blow. The words that the feminine delivered to the masculine really could have just completely blown the masculine away, tore down his ego, just broke him down, whereas nobody else has ever even spoke to the masculine like this or made him feel a certain way. That's just what I'm picking up on. Spiritual energy. Ace of Swords, love it. This is not an accident either. We were asking here the masculine's energy towards the feminine here. We've got the Ace of Swords. Aware of the spiritual connection. There it is. The Ace of Swords came up with the soulmate card. He's aware of the energy. He just sold out to it before. That's all. You know, he sold out to it before because he couldn't deal with it. He couldn't handle it. So let's get this Ace of Swords energy and the spiritual connection between the two of them. Oh my God. What did I say? Oh my gosh, you guys. Don't get annoyed. I just have to keep going back. I swear. Lying was just easier than telling you the truth. I just sold out to the connection before. That's what it is. I couldn't deal with it. I was aware of it. I saw something. There was definitely something there for me too. But lying was easier. Selling out was easier than dealing with the soul connection. That's what it is. So this is the energy that the masculine has towards the feminine right now. Okay. So I know that this reading was more geared towards the feminine, but I'm a feminine, so that's just the way it goes usually when it comes to channeling. I do happen to resonate with the masculine's energy as well, but right now I'm in my feminine's energy. So let's go ahead and get some advice from Spirit when it comes to the future. What are the possible future events that may be taking place with this connection? So this is, again, Twin Flame Journey Tarot. I'm going to get 3 cards. I'm just going to put them like this for now. And I'm going to get some others. And now we're going to incorporate the Signs from Spirit Love Oracle. So I also created this deck too. All right. So let's go ahead and get some energy. So the way that I'm going to do this, I'm just going to do the next 1 to 3 weeks or 1 to 3 months. Okay. So it can resonate either way, you guys. Wow. Okay, you guys. So this is action. This is somebody who raises their vibration. So when we raise our vibration, it puts us into harmony and similar vibrations with other people. So we have action and we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a wise investment. It is very wise to invest in raising your vibration because it will take you forward. It'll propel you forward. It will not cause you to stay stuck and hung up. So I feel like the energy here for the connection as well as the individuals, both the masculine and feminine, as long as you choose peace and harmony in your thoughts and with others, there is going to be forward movement. Regardless of where it leads, there will be forward movement. You will not sit around and stay stuck and go stagnant. So that is very apparent. This needs to happen now, and that this is something that should be happening because we're asking for Spirit to give us a glimpse of a possible future. But again, I say possible because feminines, if you're watching this video, or even masculines, you guys both have the free will to say, fuck this shit. I don't care. I want to be dark. I want to be stuck, and you can stay stuck, and none of this will happen. So that's why I always say it's a possibility here. It's available to you if you want it. All right, second week or 2 months. Yes, we have gathering, we have destruction, and we have scarcity thinking, 4 of Pentacles. So this is the deal, you guys. So there is going to be perhaps in the next 2 weeks or 2 months, there has to be some sort of a teardown of old ways. This 4 of Pentacles is holding on tightly to something, having a scarcity mindset. This is the absolute opposite energy of this. So this gathering here, if we want to come together and we want to basically bring together energies, reunite, we're going to have to destroy any scarcity thinking. So this is just another confirmation from Spirit that this raising your vibration has to take place, because if it doesn't, we can stay in this energy of scarcity mindset and see no production of results, to see no forward movement, or we can invest wisely and raise our vibration and take action. So we can sit at this table is what what I'm getting, and do nothing, or we can destroy these old paradigms and move forward and perhaps gather and come together with people that are of our same vibration. So if some of you are thinking, well, oh my gosh, if I break away and I just move forward and I move on with my life, am I going to lose this connection? Well, you know what? If your person is not on your same vibration, that means that yes, you will move forward, whereas this person may continue to stay stuck, but at least you're moving forward and you're not stagnating, you're not stagnating, just waiting around for somebody to get their shit together. No, you're still living your life and you're still moving forward. So again, the choice is yours. You can move forward by yourself. You can move forward together. Again, everyone has free will. Last messages. Third week to 3 months. Oh my gosh, look at this, the Four of Wands. And we have orange, which is enthusiasm, excitement, and warmth. So this is like the sacral chakra energy. So it's really about just getting into your energy, propelling yourself forward. We also have pride and ego, and we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a beautiful card because it means whatever we're dreaming of, we're creating foundations for the future. And we also have commitment, a commitment to better our future. So what I'm picking up on, you guys, is that sometimes pride and ego isn't a negative. Sometimes we need pride and ego in order to propel ourselves forward in a positive way. Sometimes we just need to get into that energy in order to move forward and to carry on. So I feel a little bit of a survival energy. We're raising our vibration, but we have our eyes on the ball. We have our eyes set to this future right here. This is what we want. However we get there, that's what we want. Okay. And if that means that we've got to let go, if that means that we've got to destroy a few patterns in the meantime, then that's what we're willing to do. Okay. So I feel what Spirit is saying in regards to the future of this connection is that if we can let go and we can destroy old paradigms and not hang on so tightly and not need this other person for our happiness, and we can let them do the work that they need to do and we can do the same, we are going to achieve our ultimate goals, our dreams and our visions, those things that we've been dreaming of and thinking of. It may be together. It may not. And when I say it may not, it just means that regardless, you're going to be exactly where you need to be in the future. Spirit's not going to let you hanging. When you take care of yourself, Spirit takes care of you. Okay? So if some of you feel like, no, I got to hold on to this, I can't move forward. If I do this, I'm afraid I'm going to lose this. If you lose it, it wasn't yours to begin with. So you got to trust that Spirit has a plan for you. And if you can trust in that, that's a wise investment to take action and raise your vibration. We can't raise our vibration when we're in this energy here. We can't. We have to destroy that. Okay, it's the only way that we're going to be able to gather later on in this world here. So it might even be that we need to drop the pride in our ego and say, you know what? The scarcity mindset, it's not serving me. I need to get into my power. I need to propel myself forward. So that way I can achieve my dreams and my goals. And if this person that I'm so connected to is there with me, even better. Even better. So I feel like it's all about empowerment at this time. So we're going to close the reading using my big chunk of decks here. These are all by Doreen Virtue, just different decks. And we're going to pick some cards. Some random messages that we need for ourselves, for this connection, how Spirit may be helping, all of it. So let's get some messages here. See, oh my gosh, I love it. It's just Spirit's way of saying it's up to you. At the end of the day, it's up to you. What do you want to do? How do you want to conduct yourself? How do you want to move forward? Do you want to stay stuck, or do you want to live your best life? Do you want to be in high vibration, or do you want to be in low vibration? What do you want to do? It's up to you. You are basically in control of your destiny. Fate is a different story. Spirit's in control of fate. So things that are fated for us are going to happen no matter what. But at least you can be in charge of your own destiny. We have the free will in order to do it. So let's go ahead and get another message. See, we have fairness. This right here is saying that everything is going to be dealt with in a fair and just matter. So it's up to you. I just got this. If some of you are waiting for justice, if some of you are waiting for an apology, and if you don't get it, you can't move forward. It's up to you whether or not you're going to keep yourself in that imprisonment, or if you're just going to live your life anyways. Some of us may never get the closure that we're seeking, but we got to move forward anyways. That's raising our vibration right there. That's disconnecting from our pride and our ego, that I'm not doing this until this person does that. Sometimes we just need to give that shit up. Yep, decide. You need to clearly decide on what you want to do. This also here is about decision, and this goddess's name is Matt. Could be a special message for some of you, even though that's a feminine's name here, goddess, doesn't matter. You guys could be dealing with a masculine named Matt. So there could be a special message. Maybe you guys are dealing with somebody that you need to decide between two partners, and Matt happens to be somebody's name, or Matthew. I don't know. Anyways, that just came through. But decide. It's up to you to decide what it is that you want. It's up to you to make this decision. You need to make a decision that's best for you, okay? We have to help heal the situation. You need to see other people's points of view. So again, we may want to hold people accountable forever. We may not be able to move forward until this person does this or this person does that. But the thing is, true unconditional love really comes from unconditional understanding, which is everybody is working with the tools that they have at the time. Everybody's doing the best that they can do with the tools that they have right now. And so sometimes we have to realize that, you know what, certain people don't have the necessary tools in order to get healthy, in order to make certain decisions or make the correct decisions. So we also have to realize that everybody is just where they're at right now. And so if we're holding up our own lives and we're waiting for people to grow or waiting for other people to make those wrongs right, you know, we might be waiting for a very long time. So we have to make a decision based on our own lives in order to move forward in a healthy way for ourselves. So we also have I had to leave that way. And what I'm picking up on is the masculine's energy from the past. The masculine had to do something specific. Maybe that hurt the feminine. Maybe the way that the masculine decided to exit out of the feminine's life or did something to her that caused the feminine to exit his life. Something had to happen that way. Some sort of trial and tribulation had to be experienced for all involved, all parties involved. It's like things had to be a certain way for a certain reason. Everything is in divine order is what I'm getting here. Everything that's happened to you, whoever's watching this video, everything that's happened with your connection, everything had a purpose. Everything had a goddamn good reason is what I'm getting here. It did. And so we can sit here and we can feel like victims, or we can see it as a necessary lesson in order for everybody to have learned something and to grow and to better ourselves in the future. You know, but at the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed. There's a beautiful opportunity. There's a beautiful opportunity for people to have a divine soul connection, most definitely. But it doesn't mean it will be realized, and it doesn't mean it will be taken up on by both parties. You know, sometimes people are there, and other times, again, they're just where they're at, and we have to accept that. We have a change in direction though. So there's a change in direction. It's like we've got this stork here. He's got this new map. What are we going to do now? There needs to be a change in direction. We can't keep holding on to the same energy. We can't keep going around the same circles over and over again. Something has to shift and change is what I'm seeing. There needs to be a shift in direction here. Because why? Because there is some sort of a spiritual path or upbringing that is causing some sort of change or needed change right now. So I feel this is actually what I'm getting. I feel like the masculine right now is on a spiritual journey, on a spiritual path. And because of that, this is going to cause a change in direction in the connection. But I'm seeing that right now there are other factors. This does say religious. That could resonate for some of you, but I'm not getting that that's the main message. So if things are just, you're kind of waiting and you're waiting for your masculine to kind of smell the coffee, or you're waiting for him to make some sort of, you know, decision to move things forward and move things along, yet you're still not seeing those results, what I'm getting is that it's time for you to make sure that you keep moving in another direction. You know, that you don't have to sit around and wait for somebody to have their awakening or to smell the coffee and come back. You still need to move forward with your own energies, with your own lives, with your own goals and mission. We have forgiveness. So again, we have to be able to forgive. We have to be able to understand where people are at. There's also an old energy that keeps popping up for me, and I don't know if it's going to resonate for some of you out there, but I feel like there has been some sort of hurt and pain. Either the masculine did something because he couldn't come or show up for the connection before, and now it's like he may have understood why he acted a certain way because he's starting to learn something about himself, perhaps. Maybe he's having some sort of spiritual awakening. So he's starting to really examine who he is and cleanse and detoxify those behaviors. But he may have never apologized to the feminine. He may not be able to at this time to offer her that apology or to offer her that breakthrough or that understanding. So it's still up to the feminine to forgive herself and to forgive her masculine for all of these ways of being. That he had to leave that way, or things had to go in this direction, or other people, we have to see them with compassion. I mean, you don't have to, but that's what Spirit's suggesting. Yeah, see, spiritual growth has happened here, you guys. I'm just getting that confirmation as I'm talking about this. Spiritual growth had to be obtained. Spiritual growth had to happen, to be experienced in order for, I feel like it's the masculine, to see something when it comes to this connection and when it comes to his behavior. He had to kind of go through something on his own, or maybe even perhaps in another situation, to kind of come full circle to this understanding of who he truly is and what he is truly all about and what he has to offer now. There's some kind of energy here. Yeah, look, some sort of healing on the masculine side. Could even be connected to the father of the masculine. It could be that the masculine has had a lot of damage because of his personal relationship with his father, or it could even be that he had to become a father, and through fatherhood, there has been a lot of healing and spiritual growth because of this experience. Okay? Yeah, I've got no. So what is this energy here of no? Yeah, see, he didn't feel worthy. That's what I'm getting here. The masculine just didn't feel worthy. He didn't feel like he deserved something. And it's because of some sort of an issue with just manhood. It doesn't have to be manhood, though. It could just be father healing. It could be a masculine who's actually a female but had father issues. So please take it as it resonates with you. But there's some sort of pain from your masculine's own past that caused him to be who he is today. And he had to go through certain trials and tribulations and grow spiritually in order to feel worthy now. So there was some sort of damage that maybe you knew about or you didn't know about. So that's why I feel like the messages are coming through, that there needs to be some sort of forgiveness and seeing things from your masculine's perspective. And it doesn't mean that it's okay for how he treated you or what he did. Some of you may not resonate with the masculine having done any kind of damage to you. So if that doesn't resonate for you, this just means this portion of the reading isn't for you. But I'm really picking up on a masculine who may have treated his feminine unfairly and unjustly. And now he's requiring a lot of forgiveness on the feminine's part. And that might be difficult for some feminines out there, because you might be thinking to yourself, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Why I have to be the person to forgive and, forget in order for, our connection to somewhat be, healed, or to elevate this connection, the vibration of the connection. But all I want to say about that, you guys, is that when you have a soul connection with somebody, it does require in order to become peaceful with it, to forgive. Okay, it does. And that doesn't mean, and it doesn't equal that suddenly your connection will become a success and be healed and magically come back together. What that means is that you will experience some sort of peace and understanding on your part when it comes to this connection. Because if this is a connection that's been very painful for you and very heavy for you, the more that you can get into this energy and realize that somebody else's damage was at work here with how they treated you, the easier it will be for you to understand that it wasn't done out of malice or spite. It was done out of lack of their own worthiness as a human being. And sometimes when we can get on that level with somebody, it makes it a little bit easier to have compassion for them and to be in that energy of forgiveness. Let's get a couple of last messages here. Yeah, look at that. Spirit's really telling you to release and surrender here. Release and surrender. And I'm also getting that the masculine is releasing and surrendering these past pains, this past pain that was caused. Okay. Oh, wow. Beautiful. And I feel like this is an energy here that is really pushing this connection towards possible romance in the future, as in the masculine can finally show up for the feminine, can finally be that person that he may have not been able to be for the feminine before. That's just what I'm seeing here. Okay. So let's get 3 last messages when it comes to your union specifically. We have divine timing. So again, this is another confirmation that everything is happening exactly the way that it's supposed to. It can't be rushed. This is something that just needs to take some time. We have, cleanse and clarify. We already saw that the masculine absolutely has to cleanse and detoxify his own energy. This has to happen. And this has happened maybe all along during your separation. And we have winter. So this is saying here, the answer to your prayers and affirmations are finally realized in the winter months. That may be a divine timing answer for some of you out there. There may be some sort of perhaps a reconciliation. You may get a message from the masculine during this time. It may be that during the winter months, there's some sort of sign that you get that there is some sort of cleansing and healing that has been done. You might feel relief from this connection at that time. So this is beautiful, really beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead and I just want to go ahead one last time because I feel like the feminines that are watching this video, I feel like you guys have gone through a tough time with this masculine and you just might need something a little bit more to kind of clarify this energy that your masculine wants to make these wrongs right, is sorry for things that have taken place, and may make some sort of contact with you in the future. So we're going to go into this Twin Flame Journey Tarot one more time and these Twin Flame Messages Volume 2. And then we're going to end the reading. We have the Page of Wands. Look at this. This is beautiful. This right here, it's got fireworks, Page of Wands. It's exciting, it's curious, and I still remember the good times that we shared. So this is confirming, I feel, to close up this reading for the feminine, that this masculine still has positive energy that's connected to you, okay? He still has this energy where he remembers you in a fond way. He still remembers how you felt like home. He still remembers the good times that you shared. He still remembers the soul connection that was made. Even though he wasn't ready for it back then, I'm getting here that he still does remember you fondly now. This is beautiful. We have karma review. This just goes to prove that there has been some sort of karma that has been dealt to the masculine during this time of separation. That the masculine has had to go through his own trials and tribulations in order to learn something on his own. He had to see things from a different perspective. Perhaps he would not have been able to learn these lessons had he been with you. Maybe he had to learn them in a form of another person or perhaps another situation. It's really hard for me to open up. So what I'm getting here is that even though this has taken place, it's still hard for your masculine to open up at this time to basically apologize. That's what I'm seeing here. He's currently in this time frame reviewing things, examining his feelings, examining his life, going through some sort of perhaps spiritual growth or journey right now. So this is review time. It's not necessarily action time. It's really hard for your masculine to still open up and basically explain to you everything that he has learned or everything that he is feeling now, that he is seeing things differently. Okay. Last message. Yeah, we have planning and decision. So again, it's a non-action. We did already get this in the very beginning of the reading, which is where your masculine is at. It was one of the first cards that he got in his general energy. Let me just find it real quick. Two of Wands. Okay. So the Two of Wands, which is a planning and making a decision to put things into motions, he's still not there yet. He's still not willing to put anything into motion right now. Okay. But it's a perhaps on the horizon in the future kind of energy. Last message. I keep comparing you to others. And I just get here that nothing compares to you, feminine. So he keeps comparing you to others. He's had to go through other connections or other situations, or may still need to do that. And he'll keep comparing others to you just to find out that nothing does compare to you. So that's something that the masculine is going to have to come to terms with on his own. Okay? So in no way is this reading guaranteeing that there is going to be a reconciliation or a union at some point, but it surely does show that this masculine has definitely gone through a lot of deep introspection and spiritual growth when it comes to the things that have transpired between you and him. And I feel like he has really, really gone through some major changes, but still isn't quite ready to bring that forth just yet. So anyways, feminines, I'm definitely going to label this reading more for feminines because I feel like it was really all about the feminine this week as far as what the masculine is feeling and what he's going through. But the feminine's energy is really, really positive and very empowered. So thank you so much, you guys, for choosing to watch me. If you did, I hope you resonated with it, and I hope you guys have a fantastic week and day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.